Hello friends, we have started a series of new instructional videos for you on all aspects of tea cultivations. This is aimed at meeting the needs of all the stakeholders involved in the tea cultivation in the region, and I think you will love this video. So let's see the first video.
Plucking is one of the most intricate operations in tea cultivation. The health of the bush as well as the quality of made tea are dependent on plucking. In value terms, plucking operations account for nearly 15% of the total cost of production. In this video, we shall explain the science of formation of shoots in a tea plant and how the plants produce shoots more effectively to maximize the harvest. During plucking, the tender apical portions of shoots, consisting of 2 leaves and the terminal buds, are nipped off. Removal of the apical portion of a tea shoot stimulates growth of the dormant leaf and the buds below the apex. The stimulated buds become active and start laying down initials of cataphyls known as janams. An appendage, intermediate in form between a janam and the fully serrated leaf, appears between the janams of the base of a flush and the first normal leaf. This is of rich green color and is often partially serrated. Such appendages are known as fish leaves or golpat. There are many variations of the golpat. This golpat is slightly elongated and without any serrations on the margins of the leaf blade. This, on the other hand, is a normal leaf. It features prominent serrations on the margins of the leaf blade. The apex of an elongating tea shoot, commonly known as a bud, is tightly wrapped in a foliage leaf. This is what a typical tea shoot looks like. The first janam, the second janam, the fish leaf or golpat. In order of emergence, the first leaf, the second leaf, the third leaf, and the bud, which will subsequently open into a full new leaf. When a tea plant is pruned, the branches left are called stubs or sticks, and shoots growing out of the sticks are called primaries. When the primaries grow above a predetermined height, they are tipped at a height parallel to the ground. Tipping at different points makes a flat plucking surface and accelerates lateral growth of primaries known as laterals. The young tea bushes receive a frame formation prune at a height of 14 inches or 35 centimeters from the ground. The primaries developed from the pruned sticks after pruning need to be tipped at a height of 24 inches or 60 centimeters from the ground, while keeping an allowance of 25 centimeters from the pruned mark to the point of detachment on the primaries. This is the point of tipping of the primaries. Here, 2 janams are retained. While tipping at a particular point, it can be assumed that a new shoot will develop from the bud at janam 1 and the axillary bud at janam 2. Therefore, from a single shoot, 2 new shoots can be had during subsequent tippings. Unfolding of the ultimate leaf of a flush discloses a small bud known as baji or sterile bud, which is much smaller than a growing bud. A shoot goes baji after producing 5 leaves. The 5 leaves on the primaries after tipping and the mature leaves which are left below the plucking surface carry out photosynthesis and are called maintenance foliage. It is imperative that the top of the tea bush is flat to allow uniform sunlight on the bush. Such a flat and well-maintained surface of the tea bush is known as a plucking table. A factor that plays an important part in keeping the plucking table flat is what is commonly known as creep. Let's take an example. This is the point where this bush was pruned during the winter. This branch has subsequently developed from the pruned stick, and here is the point where it was first tipped. This has led to the growth of these laterals. This lateral was tipped here, and after being tipped at this point, the axillary gave rise to the laterals of the second order. This is the point where it was wrongly plucked, leaving the fish leaf behind. Similarly, all the adjacent laterals were plucked at a relatively extended height. This difference in height between the point of tipping and the highest point of plucking is known as creep. If the creep is excessively high, there will be a reduction in the yield. In standard plucking, it is important to retain the developing and unopened bud, along with a small leaf over the plucking table in each round of plucking. This small one leaf and the bud, along with all active developing buds above the plucking table, will act as sinks, while the maintenance foliage will act as a source. This small one leaf and the bud of today will develop into 2 leaves and a bud in 7 days, at which point it will be plucked. Such 2 leaves and buds are therefore collected during plucking, while a single leaf and a developing bud are retained over the plucking table. The leaves of this bush were infested by the red spider mite. Red spider infestation makes the leaves go reddish brown or bronze in color, suggesting that the photosynthetic ability of the leaves has reduced when compared to a fresh leaf without any infestation. Certain other leaves, such as the one shown here, are infected with the red rust disease. Red rust also causes the maintenance foliage to reduce its photosynthetic ability. Now, in order to mitigate such problems, a new layer of green leaves needs to be developed so that the bush becomes photosynthetically more active. Now, in order to provide a new layer of green foliage, it is important to pluck above the goal path for at least a couple of rounds. Thereafter, plucking can be continued at this increased level. Here is an example of dieback of the shoots, dieback of the branches, and plucking points. Here too, in order to arrest the incidence of dieback, a new layer of foliage has been developed to make the bush photosynthetically more active. This new layer of green foliage will not only cover the dieback points, but also provide a greater number of viable plucking points. In subsequent rounds, this bush will provide a higher quantum of green leaves with better quality. During plucking, attention needs to be given to the level of the plucking table. The level of the plucking table should be uniform from one end to the other. It should be devoid of any indentations on the surface. A plucker should ideally begin plucking from the center of a bush and gradually proceed towards his or her left and right sides. Helopeltis is one of the most serious pests infesting plantations in northeast India. Helopeltis infests the young succulent tea leaves as well as the growing bud. From the surface, the infestation level gradually goes downward. This shoot is infested with Helopeltis, and the injury marks are clearly visible on the leaf surface. It is important that such leaves as well as the shoots are removed from the tea bush during plucking. In order to ensure new growth after a certain interval, this also ensures that the bush is ready for producing new shoots for further plucking. Shoots such as this are also visible underneath the plucking table. They too need to be removed, as these are the egg-laying sites of the Helopeltis. Goal path plucking or plucking over the fish leaf. Here the goal path or the fish leaf is retained. Janam plucking. Here the goal part or the fish leaf is removed. The two janams are allowed to remain on the bush during plucking. The right method of plucking will have a positive effect on the yield and the quality of made tea. A wrong approach will upset the health of the bush in the long run. Foliar harvesting is achieved at the cost of the plant's pursuit to produce its vitality and cannot be a simple affair. So until the next video, here's to you a watchful plucking from all of us at TRA.
Hello again. I hope you enjoyed the video. We will have more such videos on relevant topics for you, and we'd love to have your feedbacks now. You can send it to our forum or by mail at info@tocklai.net. So until the next video, goodbye.